Hey guys, King Reaper here. So, yep, I'm outside the cinema. It's January, so that can only mean one thing. Yep, it's time for a horror. And I'm about to head in to see what I've been really looking forward to. Wolfman, new film from Leigh Whannell. I was meant to see this yesterday. Ended up feeling like shit all day, so I've seen it today instead. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. I'm a big fan of Whannell's films, so I'm really hoping he'll deliver another winning reinvention of a classic Universal monster. So we'll find out. I'm gonna head in, get my snacks, and get seated for Wolfman. So yeah, I've got my popcorn here and a red frozen Fanta, blood colours, ready to watch Christopher Abbott go wolf mode. So yeah, Wolfman. I am back from seeing it. This, of course, is the newest film from Leigh Whannell, who has some level of form when it comes to directing modern reimaginings of the classic Universal monsters, because of course he previously directed The Invisible Man, which I really enjoyed. It took the story and did something really fresh and interesting with it, and it was a big success, even with it being one of the last, like, pre-COVID releases. Obviously that impacted its box office run. It still did great numbers, and obviously coupled with the fact that Whannell also made Upgrade, which is a really fun sci-fi action movie. Yeah, my expectations going into Wolfman were high. I was really excited to see what he would bring to a werewolf movie. But does Whannell deliver another winning reinvention of a Universal monster? Let's find out. So the film follows Blake Lovell, who is living with his family in San Francisco when he gets a letter telling him that his dad has been declared dead 30 years after his disappearance. Included in the will is the keys to his old family home in Oregon, and so he heads down there with his wife Charlotte and daughter Ginger to pack up his dad's old things and put it all into a moving truck. However, when they get to the house, Blake is attacked by a mysterious creature and soon gets infected and begins to transform into something unrecognizable, as he's been hit with what the natives of the area call the face of the wolf. So, look, obviously I have to mention this film's production history. Obviously, Ryan Gosling was originally meant to star. In fact, Whannell initially turned down directing. So, yeah, that history coupled with the January release date. Yeah, cue the clip.
Fuck you! It's January!
I could see why some would certainly approach it with a level of skepticism. I was really looking forward to it, going off, the track record of Whannell's previous films, and I gotta say, considering this is a January horror release, I'm surprised how not terrible this is. Like, don't get me wrong, I may be a bit let down, because, it's definite step down in quality from Whannell's previous films, but at the same time, it's not bad, but, yeah, this could have been great. Now, obviously, what is great about it, and this is where the film is at its strongest, is with the wolf stuff. Yeah, it's really well done, and you can really see Whannell's signature voice really break through in these moments. Obviously, he infuses it with a sort of Cronenbergian body horror. You get scenes like teeth falling out and like gaping flesh wounds, and the practical effects work is great here. Really, making it feel all gnarly and nasty, and really, adds to how effectively done it is. The camera work is super well done as well, making effective use of Dutch tilts and camera wobbles to sort of sell that things aren't quite as they seem. And of course, there's the unique flourish of this film, the wolf vision, which plays around with color, as we sort of see the world how Blake is seeing it in this like half wolf stage, but also plays around with like dialogue and sound, making words like incomprehensible. It's really, really well done, and yeah, there's top-notch sound design here throughout, which really sells every aspect of these wolf scenes. And my god, Benjamin Wallfish's score just really adds to a tense and unsettling atmosphere. Yeah, from a technical perspective, it's damn near perfect. Unfortunately, yeah, the story and characters is where it really falters. And you can definitely tell that this film has had a bit of a rough production. Like, see, here's the thing: the ideas are there, and those little flickers where they actually click, they really click. But at the same time, this definitely needed more time in the oven. Another draft or two really could have tightened it up. Because as it stands, it sort of feels a bit half baked. Like, there are ideas in here about like generational trauma and parental guilt that could have been explored really well, but the film never really delves into it, sort of just opting to like blatantly explain what it's trying to say rather than organically weaving it into the story. And yeah, these could have been really interesting ways to add new layers to a wolf movie, but it never fully goes through with it. Yeah, and the characters also feel a bit half baked. Like, they don't really grow in any meaningful way, so it can be sort of hard to invest in them. But at the same time, the sort of like raw hook of watching this family witness their nearest and dearest turn into something unrecognizable is engaging, entertaining storytelling on a primal way. Yeah, it sort of worked, but at the same time, more meaningful development could have really added to the emotional stakes of it all. There's also definitely some pacing issues here. Like, it starts off really strong with a cold open, which very much establishes Blake's difficult relationship with his dad, as well as the presence of the Wolfman, or the face of the wolf. That was really, really good. It was atmospheric. There was a certain level of tension to it. It was really well done. And then from there, it sort of shifts back a gear to, to spend a bit of time with Blake and his family in the present day, sort of, spending a bit of time setting up them getting to the house. And yeah, it really, really slows down for a stretch until, we get to the house and like Blake goes full wolf. I imagine, again, another draft, really could have, tightened up the pacing. You could probably still have all these basic ingredients, but they definitely could have delivered it tighter with another draft, because there's a whole stretch which does feel kind of slow. But in saying that, the back half of the film is where the film really finds its footing, as the focus is on all the wolf scenes, the sort of slow, brutal transformation from man into wolf, and the actors really do a good job selling it in spite of the weak material they have. Christopher Abbott does a very good job as Blake, sort of selling that gradual shift from goofy, lovable dad into wolf form, as as the last of his humanity leaves him, as the sort of animal instincts take over. He's great. Julia Garner also does a good job as Charlotte. She's very much trying to do the best she can with, as the man she loves shifts into something, she doesn't recognize, and as she actively becomes afraid of him. And there's also some okay child acting from Matilda Firth as their daughter, Ginger. Again, not the worst child acting out there, and actually does sell that, that child's perspective, fear of the situation. So yeah, in spite of the material, the actors do a good job, and they really shine in that second half where the focus is on the wolf stuff, this atmosphere of tension and unease. And there's some fairly well done nighttime cinematography, and there's actually a decent twist in there which ties the whole thing together. It's themes and ideas, as sort of half baked as they were. But then, by the time you get to the end, it ends in sort of the way you'd expect it to go if you've seen at least one werewolf movie. But it does it right as the film is getting really good. So it does feel a bit, oh, is that it? So it does leave it off on a bit of a bummer. But overall, though, Wolfman, again, could have been so much more, but as it stands, it's not terrible and actually has real flickers of promise. Here's hoping, though, that Whannell's next film will be more of a return to form. Out of 10, Wolfman gets a 6. So yeah, let me know down in the comments. Have you seen Wolfman? What did you think of it? Would you like to see Whannell take on more reimaginings of Universal monsters? And what's your favourite werewolf movie? Let me know all that down in the comments. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you're new. And don't forget to turn on post notifications so you don't miss an upload.